Yo, what is up, everybody? It's your boy Banana Split here. I actually haven't got anything to talk about today. I was just trying to think of stuff, brainstorm, and I've got absolutely no idea what to talk about. So, we could talk about, I don't know if anyone really cares, but all this technology shit going on at the moment, all these scalpers and, everyone is just trying to make money off of, buying a PS4 and then selling it for freaking 2 times the price and everything, which is total amount of bullshit. I hate it. Drives me nuts. But it seems really unfair on, just your everyday Joe like me. It makes it really hard for, I got really lucky building my computer because them cards are like a freaking unicorn, man. The 6800 X, and especially the one that I got, the Sapphire Nitro Plus, is one of the, if not the rarest card going around at the moment, because it's more rare than the 3080, which is the rarest of the 30 series for Nvidia, and it's the most rare card going around at the moment. So I was extremely lucky that I managed to get that card, and I'm really thankful for it, and it's been great. But actually, yeah, that's what we could talk about. I haven't been shocked because, from what I've seen, the 6800 XT is equivalent, if not sometimes more powerful than the 3080, and that's like the flagship sort of cards. These are the flagship cards at the moment. There is the one up, the 3090 and the 6900 XT, but they're both way overpriced. The price per performance is absolutely shit. And if you bought one, I would understand if you still buy one, if you can only buy one. I almost bought the 3090 that was there, and that was for $2,800 for a graphics card. And they're only about, I think they're close to, not 2 times the price, they're about 75% more than the 3080s, and you only get about, I think from what I've seen, it's about an extra 10% performance. So it's absolutely horrible price per performance, and you only buy one if you're an enthusiast, you want the top of the range, or you've just got money and it doesn't matter what you buy, which is fair, because if you want the best of the best, you're going to pay whatever the best of the best costs. So, but I haven't really, because I've got top of the range parts at the moment. Of course, I could get slightly better, but it wouldn't net me much more performance at all, if any. And I haven't really been shocked. You spend, what was it, 3,600 on upgrading. So that's not building a whole new PC, that's just upgrading a few parts, which in total it was only 4 parts. Well, 3 parts plus a case. My motherboard, my CPU, my cooler, and my GPU, and my case. So I haven't upgraded that many parts, but I really have not been shocked with the performance that they're getting these days, because I think the games seem to be progressing faster than what the equipment can, than what the hardware can. God, sorry, I'm working tonight, so I sort of tried not to get as much sleep last night so I could sleep today. The hardware isn't progressing as quickly as what the games are. So I play Control on my computer, max settings, and I can't even, I can get 100. I can definitely get 100, over 100 sometimes, but I don't know, it's just, when you pay that much for a computer, you're sort of you want to be able to, mine's a 165 hertz monitor, so 160, the screen refreshes 165 times a second. Is that right? Yeah. Which means you're able to run 165 frames per second, and if you run any more than that, it's pointless, because the screen can only do maximum of 165 frames a second. And that's 1440p, so 2K gaming. I really was expecting to be able to max that out. I suppose probably on a lot of other games that aren't as intense, I probably could. But like I've only been playing Cyberpunk, and that's ridiculous. That game, like even at times, I'm still only getting on the odd occasion 55 frames a second, and then sometimes it spikes to 80 at times as well. And it's just like I'm not shocked with the performance that I'm getting, which just doesn't seem right to me, considering like you'd buy that computer with everything in it. You'd buy it for at least, probably from a store, it would at least cost you $4,500. And if you're building it from scratch, I would say it would cost you at least probably $4,200 at the most. I think I'd say around about that price. And for that price, you would expect top of the range, as in like you should be able to play 4K and run, 100 frames a second. Like that's just what I would expect for a $4,000 computer, and I feel that that's not unreasonable, because $4,000 is a lot of money. There was a Ute online, a Falcon Ute online, that would have been great. Had a heap of work done, not a heap of work, like a heap of maintenance work done to it for $4,000, and it's like you get a lot more out of a car than what you do for a computer, because a computer can only really do lots of things, but they're select things, whereas a car, you can travel, you can carry stuff in, you can go and do burnouts or something. Like you can have lots of fun with a car, but it's just I don't know. I'm not shocked. I'm not disappointed, because it's still so much nicer than what I was doing before. I was doing low settings, everything on some are on medium, some are on high, but a lot of them were on low. So, and I was only getting on Cyberpunk probably 60 frames at the most, average a second, whereas with my new one I'm probably getting 70, but on ultra, of course, everything on ultra. But it's just, I don't know, it's just kind of disappointing. Like if you go and spend that much on something, if you go and spend that much on a computer, you expect it to be ridiculous. Like I'm talking mind-blowing performance. I mean, that's at least what I expect. Because like when I built my my last computer for $5,000, that was insane, man. That would run anything at extremely high frame rates. And like now that computer is just an average, almost entry-level computer. But this one here, this is an enthusiast. I would probably say high-end gaming, because it's not enthusiast, because it's not the top of the range everything, like where you're spending just ridiculous amounts of money for barely even a performance increase. But I don't know, I'm quite not disappointed, that's the wrong word to use. Actually, it would have to be disappointed, because that's the only word that comes to mind. I am disappointed in the performance that I'm getting for the price that computer is worth. It's just, I don't know, it just seems really amazing to me that you can spend that much and still only get, at 2K, you can't even max your monitor out. Some games you could, like Tom Clancy, Rainbow Six, fucking, I'll be getting like hundreds and hundreds of frames a second. And other games you would, but I'm talking about current new games like that have just come out. You're not getting that great performance. It looks amazing, 100%. The monitor I bought, color is beautiful. It's got such deep, vibrant colors. But I don't know. You just expect, in my opinion, I think you expect more than what you get, I guess, because I was expecting just something that's just gonna blow my freaking mind, man. Like my mind, but it's not. So if you're gonna build a computer, in my opinion, most people just build an entry level and just go for 1080p gaming, because 1440p looks amazing. Like it really does. The pixel density on a 27-inch monitor is beautiful. It's just an absolutely phenomenal looking. It's a phenomenal experience, especially if you can get decent frame rates as well. But I think most people, if they're just looking at gaming and they're not too fussed on being able to max everything out and have everything the best of the best, I would just really suggest going to almost an entry level PC. So like in my opinion, probably like a because you do want to future proof a little bit. So probably I'm just going to say the two very basic bits because I'm not going into your RAM or your power supply. You'd want at least a 1080 and a Ryzen 5 3600 because they're both very reasonably priced. They're actually quite cheap and there's a lot of performance there, especially if you're playing at 1080p. It's phenomenal performance. That's what I would suggest, and then everything else around it doesn't really change the performance. You need at least 16 gig of RAM. I would say at least, them parts, at least 550 watt power supply. If you want to be safe, you'd go to 650. Your motherboard, choose whatever the hell you want. You could almost go in Intel if you wanted instead of going AMD, but that's entirely up to you. But in my opinion, they're the minimal specs. 16 gig of RAM. You at least want a SSD, a normal SATA drive SSD, at least 500 gig, because then you can stick a few games on there. And you want at least a 1080. Even like a 1070 Ti maybe, but in my opinion, the minimum would probably still be a 1080, because then you're still going to get a little while out of your cards, not heaps long, but you're still going to not have to upgrade next month, next year or something. So but yeah, if you're planning on building a extravagant top of the range PC, don't expect mind blowing performance. Don't expect to have your mind blown out, because it's not going to happen. Which I don't know, just doesn't seem right to me. I guess maybe I just got high expectations. Not sure, but yeah, that's just my rant about the technology and how I personally think games are progressing more than what the hardware can. So you buy top of the range hardware and you're not going to get mind blowing performance. But that's just me, I guess. I guess some people would hop on my PC and be like, oh my god. But I guess I'm got high expectations, and I guess it just doesn't really shock me like I thought it would. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope you're having a good day. I hope you've had a good day, or I hope you're going to have a good day. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all on the flip side tomorrow, bruh.